Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tackling a seriously massive economic anomaly. We're talking about Rolex. It's a brand where a brand new factory manufactured product is somehow worth double its retail price the actual second to buy it secondhand. I mean, how on earth does a company handle the problem of having literally too much demand? Let's get right into it.
To really grasp the sheer frustration of the Rolex phenomenon right now, you honestly just have to listen to the jokes going around. The running gag in the watch world is that, well, you never actually own a Rolex. Eventually, your children just inherit your place on the waiting list.
And you know what's crazy? That joke is barely even an exaggeration. If you want to purchase a highly coveted stainless steel sports model, we're talking the Daytona or the GMT Master 2, straight from an authorized dealer today, the estimated wait time is a staggering 10 years. 10 years!
This kind of extreme scarcity creates this jarring, immediate cognitive dissonance. Take the stainless steel GM2 Master 2, right? The Pepsi, famous for that red and blue bezel. Its official retail price is right around $9,250. But the literal moment it leaves the store, it flips on the gray market for over $19,000. That is an instant $10,000 profit for doing absolutely nothing.
Section 1. The Waitlist Phenomenon. So, since around 2016, showcases at Rolex authorized dealers worldwide have basically been ghost towns. They are totally stripped of these iconic stainless steel sports models that everyone wants, like the Submariner and the Daytona. Just imagine being a dealer, right? You're paying sky-high rent for this prime commercial space, but you have virtually no steel watches to actually sell. You've just got a few top-end precious metal models gathering dust in the back. Which brings us to Section 2, Inside the Rolex Empire.
Now, the completely obvious question here is, why doesn't Rolex just, make more watches? Well, to understand that, we have to look at the empire they've built. Rolex absolutely dominates the high-end watch space. Look at 2018. They commanded a massive 22.2% of the global market share, raking in an incredible $5.1 billion in annual revenue. They are the 800-pound gorilla in the room, completely dwarfing giants like Omega and Cartier. Yet, and this is fascinating, despite being number one in sheer sales, serious watch connoisseurs actually place Rolex a notch below the holy trinity of Swiss watchmaking. That's Patek Philippe, Vacheron Constantin, and Audemars Piguet. Rolex occupies this highly lucrative, completely unique space. They are the ultimate luxury tool watch. They're prestigious, sure, but historically, they were meant to be accessible.
And to maintain that very specific prestige, they rely on absolutely obsessive quality control. We're talking superior, incredibly hard-to-machine 904L steel. They actually operate their own in-house gold foundry. They've stated it takes 1 full year to manufacture a single timepiece. So when you are that meticulous, you can't exactly just flip a switch to double production without risking your legendary quality.
Moving on to Section 3, the gray market boom.
So that carefully crafted empire, it's under serious threat from the gray market, which is the unauthorized trade of new, authentic products. Driven by the sheer lack of retail supply, a whole new wave of investor consumers has flooded the market just looking for quick flips. It's grown so aggressively that one former industry executive literally called it the industry's cancer. And the scale of this is truly staggering. Just in 2018 alone, the online platform Chrono24 facilitated $1.3 billion in gray and secondhand watch transactions. Basically, unauthorized middlemen are swooping in and capturing all of the surplus value that Rolex's scarcity creates. They are pocketing insane premiums right under the brand's nose.
Let's look at Section 4, Threat of the Smartwatch.
Because, as if a runaway secondary market wasn't a big enough headache, traditional Swiss watchmakers are also facing unprecedented technological disruption. Check this out. By 2018, Apple sold 22.5 million smartwatch units. That was nearly as many units as the entire Swiss watch industry combined. We are witnessing a massive tectonic shift in global wristwear habits.
That leads us to our final part, Section 5, Rolex's Strategic Dilemma.
This is the ultimate boardroom puzzle, guys. How do you fix having too much demand? Let's walk through their choices. Option 1. Increase supply. The most obvious solution seems to be just modifying their production facilities, churning out way more steel sports watches, and finally killing off those 10-year wait lists. But hold on. The risks there are severe. Overproducing could permanently destroy the brand's legendary scarcity value. And there is a terrifying industry precedent for this. The Richemont Group once aggressively oversupplied the Asian market, and it backfired so badly that they had to buy back and literally dismantle $530 million worth of excess luxury watches just to save their brand's prestige. For sure, Rolex does not want to repeat that disaster. Okay, what about option 2? Increase retail prices. Rolex could simply hike up their retail prices to match what these watches are already selling for on the gray market. That would allow the company itself, not the middlemen, to capture that lost profit directly. But again, there's a massive catch. A radical price hike could permanently alienate their core customer base. We're talking about the policemen, the small business owners, the everyday enthusiasts who historically saved up for years for these milestones. Raising prices that drastically could fundamentally break their century-old heritage as a high-quality but still somewhat accessible tool watch. So what about option 3, open e-commerce? Should Rolex just bypass their authorized dealers altogether and open their own online stores? That way, they firmly control distribution, pricing, and exactly who gets to buy the watches. Well, while luxury apparel brands have seamlessly moved online, watch purists and Rolex themselves argue fiercely against it. Buying a Rolex is viewed as a highly tactile, relationship-driven milestone. You feel the weight of it in the store, the dealer carefully adjusts the bracelet for your wrist. High-end watchmakers genuinely view direct online sales as a threat to that true in-person luxury experience. Which brings us to a fascinating, totally counterintuitive final choice. Option 4. Do nothing. What if the smartest strategic move is actually to completely ignore the complaints from dealers and customers and just maintain the status quo? Believe it or not, the do-nothing approach has some really serious merits. This extreme scarcity actually fuels the brand's mystic allure. Plus, it naturally pushes eager buyers who are just tired of waiting toward Rolex's higher-margin precious metal watches. And as the CEO of Patek Philippe once pointed out, watch trends typically change every 7 years anyway. So eventually, the obsession with steel sports watches might just naturally fade on its own. So, stepping into the shoes of the CEO, which of these incredibly risky levers would you pull to secure the future of the crown? Do you risk your century-old heritage to cash in on a trend today? Or do you just let the wait lists grow and let the scarcity do the talking? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. It really is a brilliant case study in luxury economics, proving that sometimes having too much demand is actually the hardest problem of all to solve.